Hello, free world. I am Bugs the Rocka of the Space Invadaz Galaxy Enterprise, and you are now in tune watching B Shine. I grew up with my grandma and my mom. My grandma had a two-family house. I lived with my aunt and a whole bunch of cousins. There was a lot of us in like a small two-family house, and you know what I'm saying? So I like up the street from where I lived, it was like a laundromat called Sudsy Malone, and then this 24-hour laundromat, it actually was a music venue as well. So it was a very unique situation. Like it was a 24-hour laundromat with a stage and a lot of like punk rock, grunge bands, jazz bands used to come. Not much hip hop at all. And where I was, it's funny because the owner used to let me sneak me in and let me watch the music because I used to sit and watch outside. In my household, I wasn't allowed to listen to hip hop actually at all. My older brother used to have all these cassettes, so he used to I used to sneak his cassettes. He used to let me listen to them sometimes. Like, yo, mom ain't here, listen to this. And he had at that time it was he used to listen to a lot of Southern music, like 8 Ball, MJG, and just different Southern music. Cause where I'm from in Cincinnati it's the Midwest, but we're so close to the South, and we're like a melting pot for everything. So then he got me introduced to the Locks and East Coast, and that's funny because what's funny about all of it is the how me and Dante, the other artist in the Space Invadaz, Dante was in this group called Mood. They made a Doom album, and that was actually my first time hearing High Tech, the producer, and the artist Talib Kweli. For me, it started out as poetry, and my grandma, rest her soul, Big Mom, my grandma, Big Mom, she actually influenced my decision musically because she gave me a notepad and she told me to write down all my feelings because I was real quiet as a kid, and she was like, yo, just write down how you feeling, this just for you. And it started out as just me writing my thoughts, poetry, and then it turned into hip-hop, and I kind of just fell in love with hip-hop because hip-hop is one of those genres where it's really about being honest and speaking your mind. Now, of course, we do know in music, hip-hop and other popular music, people do fabricate and, kind of make up things in music, with imagination. But for me, the type of music that that I fell in love with, it was the honesty in the music. And that's what attracted me to hip-hop. You could kind of just go off and say whatever was on your mind, and you kind of rebel against the world almost, and say how you really feel. So that's what really got me involved with hip-hop, wanting to do it for life. And, since 6 years old, it's been a dream of mine. I always knew I was going to do music. When you're a kid and they what you want to be when you grow up? Everybody a policeman, a fireman, a doctor. And I was just hip-hop artist. I want to be a performer. Seeing Michael Jackson, who's not hip-hop, but his music in general, just seeing Michael Jackson and Prince and, Marvin Gaye and all these hip-hop artists like Nas, Jay-Z, Kweli, and so forth, man, it just made me want to do music, just have artistic expression and just express myself musically. So that's where it started for me. I fell in love with hip-hop early, and I wouldn't do anything other than hip-hop and music. I was just grinding. I used to make flyers and guerrilla style promo. We used to throw our own shows because a lot of the venues back home in Cincinnati, Ohio wouldn't have hip-hop there. So it kind of forced us to kind of throw our own shows, and that's where it all kind of started. So I built up a kind of cult following from there, and I started taking trips. I go to New York. New York is the mecca of hip-hop. I mean, not just the mecca of hip-hop, I would say, but probably the mecca of music and diversity and culture in general. So what really helped me, honestly, was other than the stuff that I did back home in Cincinnati to get my name out there, which caught the attention of people, me traveling to New York, honestly, is what got me in the position that I am today, because I met so many industry cats, because there's no record labels, really not too many industry people, if at all, other than High Tech and Bootsy Collins and a few others. in Cincinnati, Ohio. So, and those people actually came out here and traveled the world too to get their notoriety. So that's kind of what I did, just kind of guerrilla style marketing. And then when the internet came, I kind of was on the early curve of the internet, which kind of set me apart from a lot of artists regionally where I'm from. It kind of got me like more national exposure because I was like on MySpace and all that good stuff early. So which that really helped me out as an artist, honestly. And that's how Dante from Mood got familiar with me, and High Tech, they introduced me to Kweli, which now everything's come back full circle. So it's just about grinding, I think, honestly, for somebody like me, just being persistent and craft, honing my craft. And I think people just start taking notice and using the internet, because I think the internet, as much people down, like artists say, they're leaking music, they're downloading for free. The internet honestly helped me so much, and it's a free way to promote your music for somebody without a big budget, you know what I mean? We have a label situation with Talib Kweli, a joint venture, and we're putting out music with him, and he's from New York, Brooklyn. It's crazy, the connection and how everything went full circle. So Mood and Talib Kweli and High Tech were some of the artists that I used to genuinely listen to and was fans of coming up. So, being around these guys and doing music with them, like it's kind of surreal for me, because I'm like the young gun of the crew. So, those are actually people that I came up listening to, wanted to be. Because when I heard the Blast record with when Reflection Eternal got together, Talib Kweli and High Tech, and hearing Doom, like these was records that like, yo, I can be from Cincinnati, Ohio, and actually make it out of Cincinnati, Ohio, because where we from is really little to no outlets. The first time I interacted with Kweli, I opened up a show for him, and it's crazy. It was the Reflection Eternal tour, and J. Cole was just starting out. They had J. Cole, who signed to Jay-Z, of course, who's a big artist now, mainstream artist. He was opening right before High Tech and Kweli on the reunion of Reflection Eternal, and I opened for those guys, and Kweli really didn't say too much to me then, but I was just like the kid that was opening up in the city, and it didn't really probably mean too much then, but he heard me, like I opened up for him 2 more times, and he kept hearing my name, and Dante introduced me, and we've been rocking ever since. And he said that he loved my live show and he loved my energy, and I think from that point on, he actually took time to listen to the music, and that things just came full circle from there. And when me and Dante decided to do a collaborative effort as the Space Invaders, then everything pretty much was a wrap. It was like a no-brainer. Like when we asked him about it, like, yo, like we let him know what we was doing, and he was like, yo, what's y'all outlet? Who's putting out this album? Who's putting out y'all? What home are y'all under? And we was like, yo, we doing it independently. And even though Kweli has been on a mainstream record label, a major label, he has an independent mind state, and a lot of artists is going the indie route. So he liked the where we was going with the whole indie thought, and how we kind of just grinded and hustled on our own, investing our own time, money, and resources. And he's just like, man, I want to get behind this. He really liked the music, and we've been rocking ever since. It's a beautiful situation. So now, like, my mom and my family, they love it. And actually, my mom know who Talib Kweli is, like, and she like his music. Like, yo, this actually is good hip-hop. Because I think the problem at first with me listening to hip-hop, my family just thought it was one type of hip-hop. Like, yo, it's going to be derogatory, like profanity and negative and, images. But that's not necessarily the case all the time. Hip-hop is broad, it's very popular. And when she heard my music really for the first time, like actually sit down and listen, she was like, actually, my mom was like, yo, this actually sounds good. And they actually kind of was just like, so you really want to do this? And they know how serious and how passionate I was about it. And it took a long time for them to actually support it. But what really changed the tide, honestly, my grandma is a big fan of the Cincinnati Reds baseball. And the Reds, I did a deal with the Reds. I was the first independent artist ever to actually get my song and get licenses from Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? Which was a big accomplishment, because Cincinnati Reds are like the first actual Major League Baseball team ever created. Just a little history for all my baseball people out there. So for them doing this type of deal was unorthodox and unusual. And I premiered my video at the arena, at the stadium in Cincinnati with the Cincinnati Reds against the Nationals, the Washington Nationals, and they played my video, and I actually donated 50% of the proceeds of the song to the Little Reds, the kids, their organization, and they help out the kids, helping them chase their dreams and what they want to do. And it was a good look. And my mom and my family actually were invited to the stadium to see the game and see the video premiere. I wasn't even there for my own premiere because I had a show in Portland, Oregon, with Nike. So my family went, and they was like, wow, this is sold out. We in a Major League Baseball stadium. My son is actually videos premiering. So it blew our mind. Like, wow, when you said you did music, I thought this was a hobby. I didn't know these many strangers who actually know who you are, care about this, and actually like your music. Like, this is a real job. And I think it took that for her to try to change the whole way of thinking after that. So that's really when it became like serious, like, yo, this is a real job. I love just writing music. I love performing. Performing is probably one of the greatest feelings, you know, like hearing people sing your songs, lyrics word for word, and even making new fans, people who don't really know too much about you, and you get to a show and they end up falling in love with you and becoming a real, genuine fan. You know, I just love performing, expressing myself, talking to the people, and every part of doing music is therapy for me. Like, I would be doing music just anyway. Like, the success and everything that's coming along with just doing what I love to do is a bonus to me. And I always tell people that it was never about being famous, quote unquote, or making tons of money. It was just therapy. It was a way of release. It was poetry to me. Like I said, my grandma gave me my first journal, and it turned it from a diary to a rhyme book. You know what I mean? It's just leaving a lasting impression on people musically, artistically, creatively. Just being a person, an artist that they see like, man, he was a genuine dude. He was very sincere in the music and outside of the music. Like, I do reality rap. And what I mean by that is, like, everything that I absorb from other people, experiences, and events that happen in my life, I'm real sensitive to, so I write about. It's like not fabricated lines in there. It's like all real stuff that either happened to me in the past, present, or what I'm seeing in the future, or somebody else directly close to me, or things that I see that affected me. And I want my music to positively affect and change the world for the better. And it's just about bringing people together. What I love about music is that you can have black, white, Asian, Jamaican, and so many different people and cultures and religions all get together in one room, unify. It's about diversity for me. Like, the world, I think what makes America great is diversity. And without it, we wouldn't be as great as we are. So I push that in the music, like, you know, and it's great to look out into a crowd from my shows and just see all the different type of people from different walks of life come together just for music. And I think that's what music does. It affects people in a positive way. And that's what I want to do, change the world through music. And I feel like how Bob Marley said, music can really, you can shine light on the darkness in the world musically. And that's what I'm here to do. That's what we're here to do, Space Invaders. And that's the agenda we're pushing with the music. So that's definitely what we plan to do. And I hope to leave behind that type of legacy, like Bugs the Rocker, Space Invaders, Galaxy Enterprise, were people who changed the world. And I'm honored to be a part of Talib Kweli's Javoti Media and have the opportunity and the outlet to talk to people and have a positive effect to change people's lives for the better.